Hello there, YouTube. Been wanting to make a video with Andrew for a while now. I go for a Toriundo pass here, which I get. He's still learning to play off his back, which is really good. Usually wrestlers just stick with what they're good at, but Andrew is a pretty humble guy. He goes for an overhook, which I'm not too used to, so that kind of stifles me for a little bit. I'm already starting to try to isolate that far arm for I usually spin around to north-south and try to isolate that with kind of a triple threat position and try to get a Kimura and stuff like that. But when he goes to frame on my head, I'm able to snatch up the Americana. He does the right thing right now. He moves it over. He moves his head inside the pocket, so it neutralizes the Americana. Believe it or not, another thing, don't go knee on belly with a wrestler. Well, you can, but it did not work on Andrew, and it was a pretty solid knee on belly attempt, but Andrew is very tough. He was a 3-time state champion in Oregon, and he is the hardest person I've ever rolled against when it comes to wrestling experience. What you can't really see here is I believe somewhere along the line he sets up like a lapel choke. He does a good job of always like reaching around inside the armpit and grabbing the far lapel, and he just pulls on it. And right now I'm fighting for air. It feels like the air in the room, the oxygen in the room got sucked out, especially when I'm trying to take him down. Usually every now and then I can get a far knee, far ankle when I'm very close in to get a takedown on Andrew, or at least put him on his back, but he was doing a good job of attacking things. And I believe he grabs the Kimura here, and he's doing a good job of like straightening my left arm, making it harder for me to do anything here. Again, I try to take the back, but he's hipping me away. Andrew's been doing jiu-jitsu now for 6 to 8 months, and he's one of like the faster wrestlers that has adapted like to jiu-jitsu, because I notice a lot of wrestlers, it takes them about a year to stop wrestling and start kind of doing jiu-jitsu, if that makes sense. Here I'm being very careful. Like, I'm actually struggling a lot here, giving him a little bit of feedback, because I have seen people get put to sleep in a head and arm choke. He switches to full mount. I believe Dean Lester got submitted by Josh Barnett with a headlock. I do something I don't usually do. Usually I keep my hands on the hip and I go for just like that butterfly, but I went to put my hands on the crook of his elbow, but he grabbed my arm. He isolated my arm. Here he has a rear naked. He has a guillotine and it's already tight, so I tap. It was tight when he had me in turtle position. And I usually tap pretty easily to guillotines in practice, because they do a number on my neck. So here I go for a loop choke and he just doubles me. Yeah. Here I have him in half guard. Honestly, my goal for the most part is always keep him like tethered, always keep him in some kind of guard, because if he doesn't, he will run over you. So I just remember in these last like 30 seconds of our match, he is like glue on me. I cannot get him off me. And I remember right at the end, it felt like he had me in like a power half. like in wrestling. It reminded me of like the wrestling days. So yeah, he definitely kicked my butt in the usual manner. The next match is with Mike. He's also a collegiate wrestler, and he's definitely getting better on schedule. He's not falling for the normal tricks. I go for a clown sweep, but he leans forward. He knows what's going on. Put him in my butterfly guard, and usually I can get him with my X guard. It takes me a while to sweep him. Every now and then I can sweep him with my butterfly sweep, but it's funny. Watch this. As I go to try to grab the gi pants, he feels it and he runs away. And I tell him, man, that was good. You definitely felt what I was doing, and you stopped. You stopped it. Oh, something I want to point out is that we're going over the technical stand-up where you grab the gi basically on the person's stomach, and then you grab the sleeve on which side he's gonna step up with his left side, or at least he should step up with his left side because he has my left sleeve. There you go, boom. So I was about to hit him with a pendulum sweep until he grabbed my left sleeve, and it stopped me from trying to pendulum on him. So it kind of shows you that always have a plan of attack. You know, if you're in somebody's guard, be like Mike and be going for something, because it will stop you from getting swept, as in this instance. Yeah, and this was, I was being pretty stubborn here, just like laying on my side because I didn't want to give him any points, just because I always think points in my head, and I think it's pretty good, and I think it's a pretty good mindset, because points do matter for something. They matter for positions of dominance, you know, and I'd rather give him nothing than give him side control or give him, a mount or something like that. So I think I go back to playing butterfly, which I believe I do sweep him with. I go butterfly, and then I go to X guard. And I remember right here, I was just being patient, because I knew that I had one hook in, and once he stood up, I was gonna attack X guard. So right here, this is right before he stands up. He's gonna stand up with his right side. Boom! I get both my hooks in, and I grab the far ankle, and I take down. Boom! And I also jump up, Toriando, get the sweep. Pass. I'm sorry. I got the sweep with the X guard, and then I got the pass with the Toriando. I believe we just go north-south here, and David's already telling us we're kind of close to the mat, the black belt on the left of us. He's telling us we're getting close to being off the mat, and I remember I go north-south here, and we reposition. One thing I want to point out that's going to happen in a little bit, we start up with a very loose, where I have like a loose side control. I didn't want to make it tight, he's a white belt and stuff like that. I definitely want him to learn. But something I want to point out is I fake like I'm going north-south, which I was trying to. If he would have given it to me, I would have done it. But I usually fake, he gives me resistance, I go full mount. Something I want to point out here is notice his elbow. I'm trying to put his elbow above his shoulder, because when you get the elbow above the shoulder, it's much weaker. You see how once he put the elbow up, I followed it, because I want the elbow above the shoulder. And right now, I already know I have an arm triangle. I already know what I'm going for, because the further the elbow is above the shoulder joint, the weaker the person's going to be. And Mike is definitely stronger than me, so I go for an arm triangle here, which I don't get. So props to Mike for holding out, because time runs out. Yep, it's been fun. This is a video I've been meaning to do for a while. Leave comments, like, and subscribe. All right, take care.